Welcome back to Island Time Watch Review. I'm Chris, and I'm really excited about talking about this watch. This is Dan Henry's 1964 chronograph. People have really enjoyed this watch, and it's actually one of those darlings in the microbrand space, I think, and really, really affordable. This is a $250 watch, and it harks back to a lot of mid-century racing chronographs, and a lot of watches that I would love to have in my own collection. I just don't have the money for them, so I know there's people like me out there, and I think that this video is going to be great for you. So let's go ahead and go down, check the watch out, and I'll let you guys know what I think about it at the end. Let's do it. All right, here we are, guys. So it's time for Dan Henry, a little chronograph action, and I want to show you guys this. This watch actually came in this time capsule. It took us back to 1964. That's the name of this model. Comes in this cool little capsule here, but inside the capsule is the watch roll. I really like the color here. To be honest, I've definitely received watches in better watch rolls. I mean, this is a nice canvas, got that shoelace string on it, and it does have kind of a full grain, kind of stiffer leather here, but it's nice. I mean, I like the color for sure. I really like that. And the watch comes in this watch roll. Gray. Looks good. So here's the watch. Boom. Looking good. Look at that thing. Yeah, here's the watch. And it does come with, each model does come with the watch on bracelet, but also these little straps, little leather straps. So I haven't actually, if you can see, I still have this covered over. I just have been really in love with this bracelet. But yeah, quick release pins on the strap. Kind of like a full grain. I'm not really sure. It's very malleable, looks really comfy, and I think that this is a dress option for me right now. If I were to really be in more of a dress option mode, I would put these on because I think they look really good. So yeah, they come with this, and yeah, quick release and really, really soft, really nice, and the buckle is signed as well. So I do have the plastic still on it because I haven't used it yet, but I just want to give you guys an overview of this watch. It's been out for a while, but really great option, I think, for people. So it also comes with an international warranty card, which we'll just put right back here. And let's go check it out. Let's do it right now. So this watch is really, really cool. I love it. It is handsome. And bam, the Dan Henry 1964 Gran Turismo Chronograph. So yeah, let's go over the specs. This is 38 millimeters. The diameter there, and it's a stainless steel case, 316L stainless steel. It is actually 12.9 millimeters thick. That bubble, look at that beautiful bubble. And then 19 millimeters of lug width. So that'll be, I'll definitely talk about that later on when I talk about kind of the cons. And from lug to lug, it's 44.7 millimeters lug to lug. So great, really classic sizing, really, really cool, and really comfy to wear for sure. One of the things that probably strikes you really quick here is that dome with that crystal. This is a sapphire-coated double-domed mineral crystal with anti-reflective treatment. So this does come in different colors, right? This is the Evil Panda, is what they call this. This watch also comes in the normal Panda, in a silver color, and also a slate gray. So the reason why I mentioned that is that this is the Evil Panda, so it is black, but it does kind of look blue sometimes, with that reflective coating. But I love it, man. I think it's really, really cool, and it does go with those hands. If you notice the hands there. On the chronograph hand and also on the subdials, they're blued. A lot of really, really fancy watches have the heat treatment to make them blue. This is just kind of blued up, but we'll get to that. So this is a 60-minute chronograph. If you see here on the left, that's the chronograph. That'll count to 60 minutes there. On the bottom, you get the seconds, which is right down there. This is a Mecha quartz. And we'll get to that too, but you do see kind of that quartz click at the bottom, but you do get a little bit of that mechanical magic when the chronograph goes on. So I'll show you that. And on the third subdial there is the 24-hour indicator. So this watch does have lume, it has luminova, and you'll see that on the hands and also on these indices. And it works because it does have, like, they're on the tips there. In the darkness, there is a double indice right there, so you kind of understand where, north is, where 12 is. Obviously, you'll have it on your hand, so that probably is not much of an issue. But that's on there too for you. So going back to the movement here, this is a Seiko VK63 Mecha Quartz. So essentially, it's like a flyback chronograph. It is quartz, and they say it's about, the battery's about 3 years. It'll last about 3 years. The main parts of this timekeeping piece are quartz, and it does have a mechanical mechanism for the chronograph. So if you push this, the chronograph will go. These are the pushers here. Really nice feel too. So you push this, and you get a little bit of that sweep. I mean, it's not the smoothest sweep, but it kind of gives you a little bit of that, mechanical magic that we're all looking for. And what's really, really cool about it too, I'll let it run, but what's really, really cool about it, you stop it here, and you can get it, to go again. But if you stop it and fly back, essentially is this chronograph hand will just shoot right back to the 12 when you reset it. See? So really, really cool feature. I think I've had no issues with this movement at all, and I think that as a value proposition, it's one of the coolest things that, you can get to have for this watch right here is actually $250. So you get a lot of fashion watches that are that price, and having something that's, a lot more. There's a lot more care, I think, in this watch. Dan Henry is known as a collector, or renowned watch collector. He has over 1,500 watches, and has a great site where he goes over history of watches, and essentially is giving everyone an opportunity to try out watches that are probably out of most of our ranges monetarily. So that's kind of why I love this watch too. So, all right. So yeah, this watch is $250, and what's cool about it is that you also get a beads of rice bracelet, which is really, really nice, and you get that leather strap, the watch roll, and that time capsule, which is really cool. This strap is awesome. It's 19 millimeters, and it tapers down, as you can see. And beads of rice, if you guys haven't had them, I think that beads of rice bracelets look really, really cool. They're just so malleable, so they're super comfy to wear. This watch does have a mix of brushed finish. So the brushed here and those lugs are brushed up, and on the bracelet as well, it's brushed on the outside, and then these rice pieces are real high polish. Really, really cool too, because this matches this bezel here. That's also high polish. And I do want to mention too, one of the things I love about this watch is, if you can see that detail there really, really closely, that dome just goes straight onto that bezel. Really, really great, man. A lot of details, a lot of time put into this watch. I think it's awesome. I love it. Okay, so let's see here. This watch also is available in a date and no date version. This obviously is the no date version, and the date is like right there, between the 4 and 5. Yeah, really, really cool. And kind of going back to Dan Henry. So Dan Henry has his, is well liked and well loved in the microbrand space, because he offers a lot of watches that are inspired by watches that are just, way more expensive, probably a lot harder. I mean, when you go into the vintage game, you want to make sure that you get a watch that is in pretty good condition, hasn't been over polished, and you want to make sure the movement's been, there's a lot more risk when you go into the vintage market. And this watch, obviously, when I first saw it, it reminded me a lot of like a 321 Omega Seamasters, and also Tag Carreras. I really like Tag Carreras. I never really thought I would be a Tag Carrera guy, but they're really cool. So yeah, that's another part here too. Let's see here. I'm going to go on the back. One of the cool things, I wish I can kind of show you here. Let me open this up so you can kind of see it. On the back, you get this really, really cool screw down case back. And this screw down case back it's engraved, and it's really, really cool. There's kind of that sandy kind of finish right there, but then you have the polished Aston Martin. Look at that Aston Martin, looking super cool. One great thing that you'll notice here too is it does mention more things about this watch. This is limited edition. This is the Dan Henry 1964. So I have 1447 of 1964. He only made 1964 of this model. So a limited edition. That's a Dan Henry thing that he does. And also you'll notice here too, which is kind of an extra gift. I mean, this isn't any kind of diving watch at all. It's more of a racing chronograph. 50 meters water resistant too. So yeah, this is really, really easy. And this crown, I like it. It's a great size. It's not screw down. You just pull it right out and you can adjust the time. I'm going to just let this thing smoothly sweep around. And while we do that, you can check out the tachometer on the outside. Personally, for me, I like this watch. There's a new version that Dan Henry has of a newer chronograph that he just released. It's called the 1962, and that one is a really, really cool watch. It's just a touch bigger than this one in case diameter, I believe, and pretty much the same size, but it's a lot sportier. I really like this watch because it does come with a bracelet, so that's an addition. The 1964 has a bracelet, the 62 does not. But yeah, I went with this one because I think the beads of rice bracelet looks super cool. Yeah, let's go ahead and put it on wrist and we can check it out. All right, guys, here it is on my wrist. I have a 6 1/4 inch wrist. Yeah, I mean, it fits me perfectly. It really does. And, one of the things that I love about this is it has that vintage sizing, perfect for my wrist, but also just these small tapered bracelets like this are so comfortable. And I've actually worn this watch, with a suit when it was wedding season. Been going around and wearing this watch, and I really like it. And I've gotten a lot of compliments actually because of that domed crystal. You get that vintage look to it too. So really, really just great. I think that, one of the cool things too is that the lugs they just shoot right down there. So it just kind of hugs the wrist and really, really comfortable. A couple drawbacks for me. These lugs are a little sharp. I've gotten kind of caught on some stuff before, but nothing too bad. I mean, they're not like horribly sharp. They're finished, and they have a little curve to them, but a little sharp. And also, as we all know, 19 millimeter lug widths. 19 millimeter lug widths are rough. They're harder to find straps, but luckily you get a really, really cool bracelet. And this is, a single pusher bracelet, so you can guys look at that. Single pusher, really, really easy, and it's got 2 micro adjustments right there. Not the nicest, bracelet ever, but really, really comfortable, man. And I like that it's brushed here. You get a lot of that polish too. This thing catches the light so well. I mean, the tachometer being on the dial there, not, on the 1962 Dan Henry, on the bezel, you actually get the tachometer. Having it in there, man, it just makes it look, I don't know, a lot more subtle, because there is a lot going on this dial, but it doesn't seem like that because of that dome, The dome kind of, doesn't just cuts out the tachometer at certain angles, so it just looks really classy. One of the drawbacks for me personally is I think that, there's a 15-minute marker, a 30-minute marker, and a 45. Those are cool, but they're not necessary for me personally. I think it would have been, been a little bit more cleaner without them, but, they're fine. They're great. If you notice, too, as well, if you go really close, I wonder if this will catch it, but, yeah, I don't know if you can. There are concentric circles. Oh, there you go. There are concentric circles on the subdials there. So, and those dials are really, really cool. I mean, they are really legible, first of all. But, they're sunken in. They're just sunken in dials with, and it's just super cool. I mean, the indices on those subdials are different on each subdial. So, like, on the 24, you get each across, and you get 4 here, and you get, every minute there. I don't know. I love this watch. I think it's super comfortable, looks really, really good, and is a great option for a lot of people. So definitely a thumbs up for me. I love it, and can't wait to see what Dan Henry keeps putting out there. All right, let's bring it up top. All right, and we're back. Here it is, man. Dan Henry, 1964. I love this watch. I think it's a great watch. And, one of the best parts about this watch is that Dan Henry, being, a well-renowned, well-respected watch collector in his own right, I think, him being able to get a lot of those pieces that he's had in his collection, 1,500, watches, and offer something for the rest of us in his microbrand that, is affordable, it's realistic. $250 for a chronograph. I'm not the biggest chronograph guy in the world. I think I like divers a little bit more, definitely field watches and military watches more. But this gave me the opportunity to have a watch that, I've seen some awesome tags, Tag Heuer, watches that are just like this, that are just way outside of my price range. A 321 Omega, just way outside of my price range. So having this, it's amazing. One of the negatives here is that it is 19 millimeters lug width, so you're not going to be able to find as many options for straps. That's okay though, because they do give you a great package with the beads of rice bracelet, the leather, and then they also give you the watch roll and that cool time capsule. So that's awesome. The light catches this watch in an amazing way. I think that the little details and how the slope of the crystal goes into the bezel, the bezel being high polish, it catches the light really, really well. And for me, I think that this, for $250, if there's people out there who aren't really into dress watches that much, don't dress up that much like me, this is a great watch, because I can definitely, I know it's probably a faux pas, but I can definitely wear this with a suit, and I have, for a wedding and, those kind of functions. It works because you could actually use this watch in more than just a dressy situation. So you could use it for a dressy situation. You can also, for a nice dinner, when you want to show everyone how cool you are, which is not what watches are about, but you can definitely do that. And yeah, man, I just love it. I think it's a really, really simple watch. The blued hands are pretty to me. You get a lot of different options. I will say, for me personally, I would have liked the date. I did not choose the date option complication for this watch because I thought that the numerals on the date were just too big. They looked out of place for me. So that's kind of a negative. I would definitely, personally, I find the no date option way better. But yeah, man. Dan Henry did it. I can't wait to see what other watches you have coming out. If you guys like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And yeah, can't wait to catch you next time.